Hey everyone, I wanted to do a review on this Livre Crank 85 handle I'd bought. And if you've probably already seen a couple videos, I've had this handle on, actually I think it was this reel. I had it on this reel. And now I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it. But I figured I'd review it, let you guys know what it will and won't fit, and what my thoughts are on it, and how much it weighs. So what I want to jump to is I'll show you real quick why I probably won't be keeping this handle. For me, if I do keep it, it probably won't go on any of my BFS style reels, just due to the weight. It's a very cool looking, as far as working, very functional handle, and it will fit. The nut is what makes the difference, and it only comes with one. I wish they would give you both to where it fit left and right hand reels, but this is the nut that screws on, and it's got this hex. And if you see down here, it gives you two options. The bigger hole will fit the loose reels, Abu Garcia, and daiwa, or anything with that dimensions. Now, I think 13 fishing will fit the smaller like Shimano, but this will fit Shimano for sure, and I believe, don't hold me to it, but I think 13 fishing. You may check into that. So basically this handle should fit almost all of the reels by these two different adapter pieces that you get. So if you were getting, daiwa, Abu Garcia, or loose, basically you start with that, and I'll show you on the reel. It's pretty simple to put on. You just, slide that on like you would the washers or, anything else, and it goes on first. And if this one has a little washer, I would recommend you should be able to leave that. Basically you're replacing, that's the first part of what your handle would be, the flat part. Then this will go on over that, line it up in the holes, and then you screw this on. And make sure I got it threaded right. And it's actually that simple. It does come with the wrench to tighten it up. And I would suggest, being careful in there, just so you don't scrape off any of the anodization. And it's got an O-ring that kind of holds it, so I don't think you have to crank it super tight, but just, snug. You could put it on this way and give it a little more if you want. But then, yeah, you'll probably want to give it, put the longer part sticking out, and that's probably good. And on any handle, as you're tightening it down, what you want to be able to do is hold that, and when you pull back and forth, you shouldn't get any slop. Like if it's sliding back and forth on the shaft, that means that, whether it be the regular style nut or whatever you have to fasten it, should be tight enough to where it doesn't let that slop back and forth. But that's how easy it is. Once you get your handle off, it's real simple to put on. And it's just as easy to take off. The trick is just being careful, you don't want to scar up any of that anodization off the aluminum.
A lot of things we think we have to prove and don't need any proving at all. Stick your right hand in.
But I wouldn't be worried about it. Once you give it a little bit of a snug, it's not going anywhere, because it does have an O-ring that keeps that on. Also the whoa, I did take these off. There is, you have a bearing on each end, and I believe there's a little spacer down here. There's actually a spacer before you put the bearing on, And then these cap screws are actually, there's an O-ring inside there too that helps hold that in, so you just kind of barely snug those. Those shouldn't be an issue coming out. They spin real freely. Stout overall handle. The only downside I'll show you, I don't know if I can get it weighed up. I don't want to have to move all this. Let's see if you guys can see the, this is in grams. Now it's showing 34 grams. So in comparison, here's would be like the stock handle off one of the Abu Garcias. And so only 24.1. So you've already added weight. But then just to go a little further, on the Abu Garcia, okay, so you're going to have that. You're going to need one of these and the screw. I guess we'll just use this one. It's one I see laying here. But so you also need that. That's what it takes to hold that on. So 25.5. And that's the complete handle assembly. Now when you're adding, this guy up, you need this. You also need your adapter piece, which it's way over here. We'll just do the ones for the daiwas. So you're going to need the adapter piece, this goes on, and this. So all these will need weight. So now we're at 38 grams. And I have to do the calculation for the ounces, but so the whole assembly is 38 grams, which to me, that's a lot of weight for a handle assembly. And let's double check this one again, what we said it was. Yeah, I think some of the daiwas may be, I don't know, some may be a tad lighter or heavier, but they're not too far off from this. So 25.6. So you can see there's definitely some more weight here. And I took these off and weighed those. It's a lot of it is in each one of these. They're built fairly thick aluminum on the gold parts internally. Not real light. Now, some of you guys know I do the whole single lifestyle thing and would chop basically this off. If I put a lighter knob on it, which actually, I think the Shimano, that's another thing I guess I should talk about real quick. This knob will fit because it has that huge cutout where you actually could put two washers. So, and this wasn't a very expensive thing too, the Karen knobs like $80 some. This was $150. But these knobs will fit on this handle. And so I think that means Shimano's will. If anything that takes almost two bearings stacked inside of here, the daiwas won't work because they take the one. I'll show you real quick. This is just a loose daiwa I have. But inside there you can only put one bearing, and then the space inside here sticks out a lot further than daiwa like a Shimano. So you have to have a knob if you want to switch out knobs on, I believe, and I don't know if all the livers are like this, but I would imagine they are. So it pretty much takes all your daiwa knobs and makes them obsolete. And it's not the style like barely sticks out to where, well, I'll just put it on without a bearing and put a bearing on the outside and it'll work. They won't work that way. No bearing at all, you put it on, it still looks like there's about the width of a bearing gap inside there that won't let the daiwa knob go down any further in order to work. So you would need some sort of Shimano or an aftermarket knob that would fit Shimano to fit the livers. Abu Garcias and Luz and all them are totally different. They take a lot bigger bearing, which is a totally different size. So none of these knobs I have laying around will fit this thing. So I'm still undecided. I think it looks very cool just on this reel. Problem is, I think I only gave $150 for this Luz light, and so I doubled the. But I may end up putting it on there. I don't know if I'll stick with the jerkbait on the jerkbait rod or move it somewhere else. But when I put it on the Abu Garcia, I don't know. It looks good, but this reel's already sort of heavy. You know, it's the second gen framing basically, which I mean it's still not crazy heavy, but I'll put it on this one real quick. But I think if I left it on one of these, I would want to change something up in the knobs. I don't know which way. I think the knobs match real well with the loose or silver. I think the bluish color is just not, it's too far off to look very good on the Abu Garcias that I've had, either one of them, this one or the lighter blue, which is on this one. But I mean, it doesn't look bad. But I don't really like the knobs. I love the handle on there, but not the knobs.
Call 800-481-3166. That's 800-481-3166. Call now, 800-481-3166.
So as far as for me, I'm still undecided on which one to put it on. I'm honestly undecided if I'm even going to keep it. I don't know. I probably wouldn't be able to sell it and get my money back out of it.
How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones?
But the overall review, if you don't have any issues with weight and you like this style of knobs, this would definitely be worth getting. It makes pretty much any reel you're going to stick it on. Just the wow factor is that much better. I would think, unless you drop it, stepped on it, really, it would take a lot to bend that. That is one thing about this handle. Almost any handle nowadays that comes on your reel does not take a lot to get bent and jacked up. I mean, you have to be fairly... Now, this one's not too bad. This was back in the second gen, but I'm talking about the last few years. Some of these handles are getting a little on the flimsy side. I mean, I'm seeing posts all over where guys are just dropping them. I don't know how far, but they're knocking the ends off and different stuff. So I'm not going to do it with this one, but I don't think this one would give. I think this one could take a 3 to 5 foot drop. Probably wouldn't do anything, just due to the fact of how thick that aluminum is in there. But you never know. It's heavy enough, and you got it on a heavy enough reel, I guess anything's possible. Alright guys, hope you like this review on this. And if you're thinking about getting one, wondering what came in the kit, if you need anything else, you shouldn't need anything else. Everything is in the kit to mount this thing on your reel. But like, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, guys.